I usually don't like to talk about games I've already covered. Not only do I not want to be known as that guy who only plays a specific game, but I also like to cover what's new and interesting. But, well, the Lethal Company VR mod is definitely the latter. For a mod that I've only known about since it came out last week, I have already put it at the top of my recommendation list for VR. I have never seen a VR adaptation of a flat screen game so good. I mean, hell, I've played built for VR games that were much worse than this. Looking at you, Gorilla Tag. This mod ticks every box for what a VR adaptation should be. If you thought the base game was scary or immersive or fun, well, this mod amps all of that up to 11. Whatever you liked about base Lethal Company, you're going to love in VR. And I, for one, really liked the base game, so with VR, it's damn near perfect. From using items, dodging obstacles, interacting with objects, or just exploring, it's all here and better than ever. It all felt so natural to me that, honestly, if I hadn't known it was a mod, I would have just thought it was some official feature that was planned all along for this game. It just works that well. To me, the best thing about this mod that makes it stand out so well is that literally everything you can do normally in the game, you can do in VR as well. And heck, they even stuck a virtual keyboard in for when you're at the terminal. And I know that sounds super simple now, but I sure wouldn't have thought of that if I was making the mod. And yet, this mod wouldn't be half as enjoyable if I kept having to go get a physical keyboard every 10 minutes. The only thing you can't do, with the exception of emoting, which you can just do in real life, the only thing I found you can't actually do is move the furniture of your ship. And I highly recommend that if you're playing with other people who aren't using the mod, don't tell them that. Like if I stand in this corner and you build something right here, I cannot escape. Yeah, I'm stuck now. There's nothing I can do.
We don't move it.
Oh, baby in the corner now? Let's go.
But besides that, everything works. Roaming hallways with your trembling flashlight, constantly scanning for scrap, listening to your crewmate in the ship guiding you, only to then get chased down by an absolutely terrifying Freddy Fazbear? Yep, even modded stuff works here too. More suits, better objects, new obstacles, and yes, the fart sound effects. Which, yeah, the VR mod makes this game even more fun than it is, which is saying a lot. Being able to see perspectives you normally couldn't really allows for some of the best moments to stand out. I cut him. What's up? Sorry, I cut you off. That was so soon!
So, guess who ran onto a landmine the moment they stepped inside?
What's up, Robin?
Well, goodbye, Chris.
Oh!
Guess what spawned in front of me?
Oh! God damn it!
What happened?
Sabotaging missions.
Why did we all go in at once? And yeah, I know I sound like a broken record, but this mod is just great. It's immersive, it's scary, it's thrilling, and it's funny. It's literally everything you could ever want from a game like this, especially when you get a full squad going.
Found the chicken dance.
What else do you want me to buy?
Oh yeah. Teleporter.
Jetpack, I want a jetpack. Give me a jetpack. I want a jetpack.
No, I'm not buying a jetpack. We don't.
I would like.
Yeah,
Can you get out of the fucking way?
There's a Five Nights at There's a Five Nights. There's the nights at
Freddy Five Nights?
At Freddy's.
Five Nights at.
Freddy Five Nights.
Freddy Five Nights. Five Nights at.
Freddy.
And actually, it's so good that I've ended up wanting to play it more than the normal game. I feel like with most other VR mods or modes, they're novelties, things that you try for a couple hours, go, oh, that's cool, and then quit and go back to playing the game how you normally were. But with Lethal Company VR, I don't. From now on, every time someone mentions if they want to play Lethal Company, I pull out my VR headset before I pull out my keyboard, because it's just that good that I want to play it in VR from here on out.
I know, right? I can see.
No, I didn't make it! No!
You're welcome.
That's terrifying in VR.
You're welcome.
That's awful in VR. But it wouldn't be one of my videos if at this point I didn't say something like, but it isn't perfect. And well, it isn't perfect. Now, I don't want to make this video negative because that would be insanely disingenuous to how good this mod really is. but I want to at least address its issues so that if you go try this out, which I highly recommend that you do, you don't get mad at me for calling something amazing and perfect when the game crashes every other quota, which, yeah, that does kind of happen. Another issue with this mod is that it doesn't really play the best with other mods, which is expected, but it's still disappointing. Especially any emote mods, which tend to just break the whole thing and throw your hands up 10 feet in the air, which, that's a bit much.
Where are my hands? Oh, that's where I put them.
But all of these are just minor issues, and they can all be resolved by giving it the good old off and on again approach, which that's my point with this whole mod. To quote Todd Howard, it just works. And like I said, this mod is literally a week old and getting updates. Since I actually recorded all the gameplay, there's already been multiple fixes, some of which may have actually fixed the problems I mentioned. And even if none of the fixes did, I still highly recommend this mod, purely because of just how good it is. And recently, that's been a bit of a trend with VR modding. 3 to 4 years ago, flat screen games that had VR adaptations were a bit of a mixed bag. A lot of them were criticized for being bad, and rightly so. They suffered from tons of issues ranging from performance problems, a lack of feature support, bad stability, or they were phasmophobia and suffered from all of them. A lot of them were just low effort, last-ditch attempts to cater to an audience that wasn't even that big, or even excited for this kind of thing. But just in the past year, there's been an explosion for flat screen game support for VR. I've covered a few of them already, but there are dozens I haven't, and more coming out every week. In fact, just in the past month, what is arguably the biggest VR mod ever released, the PreyDog Unreal Engine Injector. This mod allows almost any Unreal Engine 4 or 5 game to run in VR, and I mean any. Everything from Jedi Fallen Order, Hi-Fi Rush, RoboCop, Fortnite. Yeah, okay, maybe some of these are better than others, but regardless, it's still an insane development for VR. Flat2VR, a community that helped immensely with the support of the mod, claimed that over 11,000 games work with the mod, and honestly, they're probably even underestimating that number. I've only tried the mod a little bit myself, and again, while it may not be to the same depth and polish that the Lethal Company VR mod offers, it's still an insane feat. And that's just a taste of what the VR community is doing right now, full of talented, passionate, incredible people pulling off incredible feats. I know a lot of people complain about how VR just doesn't get full experiences, and to a certain extent that is true, but I think a lot of these people are looking in the wrong place. Yes, first-party made-for-VR games are great, but it's important to look at the other options too, because there are plenty of amazing, incredible, out-of-this-world VR experiences just right here, and many of them are completely free. And again, yes, many of these will never replace me actually playing the game normally, I've said that already, but for a decent number of them, that's not true, and the Lethal Company VR mod is an example of that. VR modding has taken incredible strides throughout the past year, enough to where there are games I'd much rather put down the keyboard for and instead put on the headset. And so with that, I'll take my leave. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'm off to go collect some more scrap in VR.